right, awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to the Business and Bliss podcast. I am your co-host, Lisa Kay, and I'm here with the amazing Jen Conkey. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. So you guys may notice if you're watching this on YouTube, there's something a little different about our guest today. So we have our first male guest on the show today. We could not be more excited to really hear from the male perspective about the secrets to balancing business success with bliss. So super excited. Michael, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. And I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about Michael. So Michael is a loving husband and father of 2 beautiful children, and he helps his clients optimize their performance inside the gym, allowing the best version of themselves to show up when going after their biggest goals outside of the gym. And also, Michael is San Diego's #1 strength, wellness, and fat loss coach. So Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome,
awesome.
Michael. You got a lot of awards back there, man.
Thank you.
I like it.
That's what I said. I need to have a new podcast recording area. I just have my.
You can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between all of the women that we've interviewed who have all the fancy drapes and the backgrounds and the, you know what I mean? Like the serenity. And then you have Michael, and I'm into it because it's like I get results, right?
Yeah,
it's so funny to contrast. I love it.
Lobby, and it's actually kind of the slow time. During the middle of the day, we tend to kind of die out. People are working, running errands, all that kind of stuff. So it was the perfect time to just hop in the lobby here and chat with you guys.
It makes sense. So tell us about your business and bliss journey. Start with your business. Tell us about it.
Like Lisa was saying, I help my clients optimize their performance in the gym, allowing them to, show up at their best when they're going for whatever kind of goals they're going for, whether it be business goals, personal goals, career goals. How we do that is by getting their minds and their bodies to work together in the most optimal way, and anchoring their success inside the gym into real world performance, because when you have your health, people are attracted to that, and you have more confidence. You're willing to try new things. You're willing to do things that you've probably never done before, and really, use fitness as the foundation to really explode your lives.
That's awesome. It's true. Cool. So how do you do that? Like, what does that look like? If I came to you and said, Michael, help me.
Well, first, what we'd want to know is not only what are your fitness goals, because that's kind of where it all starts. Like I said, we use fitness as a foundation, right? And so what we want to know from all of our clients is not only what are your fitness goals, but what kind of personal goals do you have? What do you really want to do all this for? Because yes, we can help you, drop pounds, look good in the mirror, feel confident. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are we doing this for? What can we use this newfound confidence and this newfound, success inside the gym? And what do you really want to go after with that?
I think that is so good, because what you're doing, and I don't know if this is by design, but what you're doing is you're having people tie a motivation to it that's bigger than just the mirror.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
huge. Yeah, because most people they're motivated by either the carrot or the stick. And so like when it's the carrot and I have something to chase and I'm motivated, I'm probably going to stick with it. But when it's the stick, it's like motivation by pain. And as soon as the pain's gone or I'm far enough away from it, I'm going to go eat some Hostess donuts again.
Exactly. Kind of fall back into the old habits. And, part of the thing that our clients love the most about our program is that it's not, I say this to our clients all the time, we're not bodybuilders. We're not fitness models. We're not trying to be on the cover of any magazines, and so we don't do any of those, fad diets or 6-week, belly blaster or all those, the tricks and magic mirrors and magic potions and all that kind of stuff that you see out there in the fitness industry. It's just for everyday people that really want to, make some new habits and really see what you could do with your life.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. It's so interesting that you call yourself a strength wellness coach. That's so unique. I love those 2 words sort of juxtaposition together. It's not common that you see that. And so one of the things that I know you talk about, which sort of lends itself to that title, is the fact that, your business cannot succeed if you don't put yourself first.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about what your journey has been I think there was a time in your life maybe where you weren't putting yourself first, and you can talk about that, but just talk about how that's made such a difference, what your journey has been sort of with like figuring out how to put yourself first and get yourself right, fill your own cup up, and you can give more to others in your business.
Got it. So, fitness has been part of my life for a long time. It's always kind of been my escape or kind of my anchor to, just kind of be with myself and, put in some headphones and just kind of get to work, and around the time when I had my son, probably about almost 6 years ago now, I like you said, I kind of fell off a little bit. And I kind of, just was, taking care of him and doing everything that needed to be done with taking care of a brand new baby. You know what I mean? I kind of, made excuses and found myself outside of the gym and not really sticking to my normal routine. And I just didn't really feel like myself, my clothes started fitting a little tighter. I was just noticing I was very lackadaisical, lazy, making excuses, all that kind of stuff. But once I got myself, there usually comes a point in time when you say enough is enough, you know what I mean? And you just kind of like take out the curtain and let's say it's time to go, it's time, enough of my excuses. Let's just get going again. And once I did, I just found myself more filled up, and more able to show up better for my wife, show up better for my kids, show up better in my business, because if you're trying to fill somebody else up, we're trying to take care of our kids and take care of our wife, take care of our business, run all this stuff. But if we're empty ourselves, it's like, yeah, you're getting by, but are you really performing optimally in those areas? Are you really showing up at your best? You could be doing so much better if you just took that little bit of time to take care of yourself, do it. And it doesn't have to be fitness, it could be it could be whatever kind of does it for you, but it's taking that time to make it more of a priority, make ourselves more of a priority, so we have more to give, so we show up better, so we can do more stuff with our family and all that kind of stuff, whatever is important to you at this point of your life.
And that makes sense. It's almost like that 21 days of self-love, Lisa.
Hey.
Right?
Yeah. So Jen's talking about my ebook, 21 Days of Self-Love, which is exactly that, which is, if you're off track with investing in yourself, can you commit to doing one thing for yourself each day for 21 days? And the cool part is, obviously this is based off of like a year and a half of research on my end, and personal experimentation. But the cool thing is that after you do it for 21 days, the benefits are so amazing, and you're actually a more joyful person, and people kind of like to be around you again, which is
exactly
my experience. And so you want to keep going, and
it becomes addicting, right?
Yeah, it does. And you're like, gosh, I'm a better version of myself. I'm a better mother. I'm a better wife. I'm a better coach. And I know that was your experience as well. So I have to ask, this is not going to be an ambush. Michael, okay, you look at me like that. So I just have to ask, I'm just going to skim the surface here.
All right.
Okay, I just have to ask. So, for the men out there who are, feeling less than optimal, right? Less than themselves. They're feeling like, gosh, maybe, I've lost my target. I've gotten bogged down by all these like expectations of life and family and all these things. Like, what would you share to help them sort of like get ego out of the way, or get really whatever's holding them back? I mean, not even be ego, but what would you share for like whatever's holding you back? Because right, sometimes it's guilt. Like, gosh, should I go do this for myself? And that's guilt. Like I'm pulling away from my family or what have you. Or if I'm spending too much time in my business, then I'm not spending enough time with my family. Were there any insights that you would share of like how to get out of your own way there and sort of move forward?
I think it really comes down to finding out what's really important to you. And let's say like we've used this example a couple times, but let's say it's your family. You feel guilty for, leaving your family for the hour or whatever that you're going to take that time for yourself. So if it's your that time that's spent with your family that's important to you, and then you gotta think, like just like I was saying, are you going to show up at a level 1 at this, time with your family, and, not go to the gym or not go take that time for yourself, whatever it is. Or if you take that hour and go and take care of yourself, now you're filled up. Now you're at a level 10. So now you can show up and spend that time with your family at a level 10 rather than just at this boring kind of, monotone level 1 where it's just kind of, showing up, getting by, kind of going through the motions rather than, showing up fully present, and really being there with your family rather than, having your mind in a whole bunch of other places because you have so much stuff going on. And that's what I found really helped me. And for me, it was, this is something that I already kind of knew. But as Tony Robbins says, if you don't do what you know, then you don't know shit. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but
you're not in school, Michael. You can say it.
Okay. So yeah, if you don't know, if you don't do what you know, you don't know shit, right? So you got to really practice what you preach and do what you know. And once I found myself doing it, then, like I said, I just had so much more energy. I was more happy, just felt better. And my kids noticed a difference too, playing with them, rolling around on the ground, chasing them around the playground. Whereas before, I was just kind of sitting on the sideline.
It makes a huge difference.
So it's just like a completely different level of presence, in the moment rather than, living in the future, living in the past.
And I think it's important to call out too, for the women listening here or whatever, partners in general. Like, it's just so important that we as spouses and partners also give that person permission to do that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, it's so important, sometimes I'll, tell my husband like, hey, not sure, what's going on, but you probably need to go play some hockey right now. You probably need to go like do a golf game, right? Or go call your bro. And he'll say to me, too, hey, do you maybe need to go like do some yoga? Are you okay? Are you good? Yeah. When you kind of, aren't yourself, like, and I think it's, I can see sometimes partners, especially women at times with their husbands are like, oh, you're going to play golf again, or you're going to do this again, or you're going to do that, and kind of being nags about it.
Right.
And realizing, hey, like that time away for him, or that time away for your partner is going to actually help them show up in a better way for you and for your family. So I think also this concept of like giving permission to say, hey, okay, like I got the kids, I got the responsibility.
Yeah. Kind of taking one for the team, exactly, and then take some time for yourself. And I think, and it's all about, it comes back to communication, and communication and understanding. Because oftentimes, especially as a guy, when my wife says, "Oh, I'm going to go get my nails done," it's in the guy's mind, it's like, "Oh, why are you going to go waste money on doing the nails?" But then on the flip side of it, we could say, hey, we're going to go play a round of golf. And the wife is like, whoa, like, what are you doing spending money on golf? But if to the husband, if like, let's say I'm the husband, right. And my wife says, I want to go spend nails. And she'll be like, it's just like, when you go spend some time with golf and how much better you feel. That's what I get from doing my nails, and then, so now it's more of an understanding rather than this just like disconnect between you guys, and it can really help alleviate a lot of like stresses and issues on the relationship if you just come from that place of understanding of like, okay, this is what he needs or this is what she needs to feel better and to take her time and do that, and it just creates for a lot more loving relationship.
Yeah, I feel like so that sounds to me a lot like exchange. And for me, that's one of the 7 influence things that I talk about all the time. Is there's 7 different strategies, and exchange is a big one in marriage. So, and Lisa uses the word permission, and in my marriage we use the word support. So I would support you in that, and I can't tell you how many times that we'll tell each other, or Stacy will say, "You probably just need to go for a ride on your motorcycle right now. Maybe you need to go to the gym. It feels like you have pent up frustrations. You need to go lift something." Or you know what I mean? And then she does. She goes and gets her hair done for 2 hours or her nails done for however long that is. And I don't exactly do that. I get mine done in a little bit less time. But the whole point is, I see what you're saying about exchange of it all. And if you have that and you're willing to exchange time with your spouse, then it's like, it's huge. Yeah. When you don't have that, it can feel like you're in a box.
Right. Exactly. You feel like you can't do the things that you want to do, and just kind of be yourself, and then that's when I've noticed
Yes.
some people tend to kind of lose touch with themselves because they feel like they can't do the things that they, number one, either they've always done or that it's just part of who they are. You know what I mean?
It's so true. And it's just like what Lisa went through a period of time that she self-discloses all the time about losing her sense of self after kids. And, and then when you think about that, when kids first come in the picture, when you're married and you're going through that crisis, if you don't have those pockets of time for yourself, it can really feel suffocating.
Exactly.
And then it causes
really
more problems in job and the marriage. So I think what you're talking about and what you provide in that service is so big. So what would it look like then? Like, how do people find you? What's the name of your gym?
The name of my program and my business is Mybo Fitness, and I train out of a private facility in Eastlake called San Diego Strength and Wellness. And our number one source of new clients is through referrals, just word of mouth. I do like Facebook posts and stuff like that. Sometimes some people find me through there, and just different networking events, just getting out there, meeting new people, making new friends, and really just adding value any way that I can, just providing not only for the people that I meet, but for people through my Facebook and everything like that, just trying to, just be a source of value. And, if you're ready to take your life to the next level, then, we should have a conversation about that and see kind of where you're at, where you want to go, what's holding you back, and figure everything out.
That's awesome.
So Michael, I want to jump into something you said there. You said talk about taking your life to the next level, and your story and your journey is so fascinating. I would love for you to share that just a little bit. So you are someone of the masculine energy that has really embraced emotion on a deeper level and really like figuring yourself out at a deeper level. And number one, I just want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
That takes an incredible amount of vulnerability, but it also takes an incredible amount of confidence and self-assuredness to be willing to identify, these are my faults, or this is what I could be doing better in my business, or this is what I could be doing better in my marriage. And I want you to share your journey because I think it will help people realize how qualified you are for this type of work, not only for the like strength building piece, but the mindset piece, because you have a pretty phenomenal journey. So tell us about your journey of self-discovery, because again, I think that will really inform people who may even want to consult with you virtually, just how qualified you are to help lead them on that journey.
So my journey started back, maybe almost 8 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while. And I kind of just found myself in this place where I was working at a job that I knew wasn't for me. It wasn't like a career, just a job where I clocked in, made some money. I was working at a casino, and I found myself just really not happy, and I knew there was something better than what I was, the situation that I was in. But I just kind of felt stuck, I just felt that when you work in a casino, they're open 24 hours a day, right? And so I was working shifts like midnight to 8 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., 4 p.m. to midnight, and everything in between, and weekends, holidays. When everybody else is off, like holidays and all that stuff, the casinos are busy. That's where everybody goes. So you're working, you're missing holidays, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I knew there just had to be another level, something different than what I was doing. And that's kind of when I got into personal development. I got involved in a network marketing business. And one of the leaders from there, recommended that something that we'll always kind of remember in my mind is leaders are readers. So I just started reading different books, which led me to YouTube videos. And then I went to my first like actual personal development seminar, which was 50 hours over 4 days. Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. If you haven't been, get yourself there. It's so much fun.
I'm going next year. Jen, we should go together.
Yeah.
I have actually discounted tickets, Lisa.
Oh,
Say that
nice.
again?
I have discounted tickets. I'll talk to you later.
Let's go. Wait, I want to know.
Yeah, Michael, come join us.
I would love to.
A podcast reunion at Tony Robbins.
Okay, I'm in. But yeah, it's lots of fun, and you really learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the different patterns that you run, and how everything in your life that you feel like is holding you back is just a pattern. And once you kind of, not only, because it's like I said, it's one thing to know it in your head, but it's another thing to actually do it, right? And part of it is just conditioning yourself to just change your habits and to change the things that you consistently do every day in your life, and then that'll get you a new result, right? Because if you're doing new actions, you're going to get a new result. So I would encourage anyone who feels like they're kind of stuck or in some kind of place where they just feel like they're, running, and if you can kind of catch yourself running that same pattern of whatever the case may be, it's definitely possible to change it. It's just knowing a couple different strategies. Just to give you kind of an idea, that same seminar I've been back to, I think 4 times total now. Highly recommend, love it. But that was just the beginning of my journey. And once that kind of, it really opened my eyes to realize whatever's going wrong in my life, I could change it, and it's just because it's just realizing that someone else has been where you've been, or someone else has been in a worse situation than where you're at, and they figured out a way out. And more than likely, they've either written a book or done a podcast, or there's some kind of something out there, because something you want to remember is success leaves clues, right? So if all you got to do is do what that person did, and then get the same result that they got. So it's just kind of, taking the initiative to find that person, or to find whatever resource you're looking for, and go for it, and just really, put all the excuses to the side. I mean, if it's something that you're really fed up with, then, get out there and take care of it and do what you got to do. And then that same thing with my relationship. We started having some problems, just a lot of, little arguments here and there. And one thing leads to another, where arguments tend to stack up on top of another, and I just knew that there had to be a better way than that. And I also knew that, a lot of people say relationship is 50-50, or I would say it's more like 100-100. You both have to be fully, present in the relationship and take full responsibility for either the success or the lack of success in the relationship. That's when I realized that, just like I said, just find someone who's, had the success in that area. And that's when I stumbled upon, her book is Celebrating Partnership. And it just really opened my eyes to vulnerability, like you were saying, and just really being vulnerable. And especially when I first heard that word, it really seemed like, to be vulnerable, it really seemed like counterintuitive for a man, as a masculine male. But like you said, it's more about just having the confidence. Allison Armstrong. Yes. Thank you.
I just want to have that for our listeners. Okay.
Yes. Allison Armstrong. Thank you. But yeah, just being vulnerable and just kind of putting your emotions out there and not being scared, especially with someone that you love, to being in that vulnerable place, because especially women, they pick up on that kind of stuff. They know when you're like there and fully present and not holding anything back and just being your full version of yourself. It just comes through on a different level, and it really helped change everything for us.
Michael. Okay. This is what men don't realize. Like, that is so incredibly amazing that you just did. I'm Southern. I'm like, I just want to sop you up with a biscuit, honey. I love that. That's like a Southern expression. Okay. I love that. And I think that so many men don't realize, the tough guy act, or, from a masculine energy standpoint, like the tough act only gets you so far.
Right.
That's still important, and that's still attractive from, in general. But this piece of being able to be vulnerable as a human, and really, balance that masculine energy with the feminine energy of that vulnerability, allowing, receiving, being open, that's a panty dropper. I probably shouldn't say that. Stacey will have to edit that out. That's amazing. That is so incredible, and that is so attractive. It's so attractive. Not even masculine, feminine, as a human in general. And you talked about being in a relationship, being 100-100. That's what makes you 100% a human being who is ready to really be a great part of a great partnership. So I just commend you,
Thank you.
For being vulnerable, which actually has led you to become more confident.
Exactly. And I would say they kind of go hand in hand, because once you kind of put yourself out there and put your emotions on the line and realize, just like a lot of other things, the fears that are in our head are most of the time never come true. And once you kind of do it the first couple of times and you realize that, oh, that's it, you know, that's what I was been scared of this whole time, then it's just, you have more confidence to do it more and more and more. Now, I don't want to make it sound like I'm perfect or anything. It's definitely a work in progress, but I think it's just being aware, like I said, and then if I find myself running that same kind of pattern that I was before, then it's just kind of catching myself and saying, hold on, that's not where I want to go. Reshift, refocus, and kind of gather my thoughts and take it back in the direction that I want to go in.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's awesome that you take both energies, so the female energy, the masculine energy, and balancing them. I think that's everybody's responsibility. When you think about women struggle with being soft or perceived as soft, and then the moment they try to step in balance on the other side, they're perceived as, you know, bitchy, bossy, whatever word you fill in the blank. And then then the men in the world struggle with something similar, right? Like when they're hard and they're tough, that's awesome. And then, but if they ever experience an emotion, God forbid, then they're, I don't even want to say this word, but you know, they're the P word and it rhymes with, I don't know, squishy. And so it's like, that isn't cool, but we both genders have that challenge to go through and try and figure out the balance. And I think it's just it shouldn't be based on the gender. It should just be based on trying to be a human being and balance both sides of the energy, so that you're interacting with others a little bit more seamlessly and kinder.
Exactly. I think what it comes down to is really figuring out, because what I found is that we both have feminine and masculine energies inside of us, whether you're male or female. We both have both energies inside of us, and it's really figuring out deep down in your core, what are you more of? Because we're definitely more one than the other. And what do we, and it's just finding out, when do you feel the most yourself? And figuring out.
It's a scale, right? It's a range, an octave. Yeah.
And it goes up and down through different situations. Obviously, sometimes we got to be, more masculine, and sometimes we got to be more on the feminine side. But it's really not letting one side really take over, especially if that's not who you are at your core. Because when you do that, then you're not, like I said, you're not really being yourself. And it's kind of like you're having to force yourself to act a certain way. And then it's not holding true to who we are. So then we're not doing the things that we really truly want to do inside of our deepest part of our souls.
Yeah. And it's the gorgeous part of being human. Yep. You have both skill sets, and like our journey is to figure out how to use them and do good. So
yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
I think like the most evolved beings have, I was just talking about this today, the most evolved beings, when you think of it as like an octave, right? I'm a piano player, so I think of like the high end, the low end, right? When you think of the most evolved beings, there's someone who can easily flex and they have a large range. So they can, have that commanding masculine presence when they need to like GSD and get stuff done and be assertive. But they also can say, hey, I screwed up here. I'm going to be vulnerable and accountable and own that maybe I could have done this differently. Right. And they're comfortable in that wide range. And it's a pity, because there's some people, to your point where you said, Michael, who are afraid of going to this lower octave, afraid of going to that deeper place. And like you said, when you just went there, it actually wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be. You're like, oh, I'm just able to like broaden my range. I'm able to expand my scope. So I think that that's brilliant for you to share that, it wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be. And that's a lot of what people reach out to coaches and counselors and go to, these events for, is to figure out like, gosh, how do I get over that hurdle of my fear and be able to access that part of emotion that's going to actually expand my experience as a human.
Right.
So I wanted to ask, based on this journey you've been on, how has that informed your business? How has that informed how you run your business, how you lead your business, how you serve your clients? Like, how would you say that translates?
What do you mean? Can you be?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, so this journey that you've been on of story and being comfortable with vulnerability. And I'm sure, along with that was like admitting, maybe when I'm, doing something wrong, or admitting when I don't know how to do something, or whatever it may be. It expanded your ability to experience a wider variety of emotions, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So how has that informed you in your business? Like, what do you do differently now that you've like gone through that journey and you really have evolved as a human? How has that shifted how you show up in your business and serve your clients?
Got it. It's really just made me more understanding of people. Coming from that place of understanding, you're able to help somebody a lot better. Something that I've learned is that you're not able to help someone if you're coming from a judging place, because people can really pick up on that. And if they feel like you're judging them for their situation, whatever the case may be, then they're not going to be fully there with you. They're not going to tell you everything that needs to be said, or they're not going to, be vulnerable and put themselves out there, especially if they feel like you're just going to judge them and throw them off as another, oh, this guy has this problem or whatever. But it's just coming from a place of understanding that everybody's doing the best that they can with the resources that they have.
So true.
And not only knowing that, but living it too, and just really trying to cut down through all the BS and really figure out exactly what's going on in this person's life and what do they feel like is holding them back. And, showing them that, that's, not necessarily true, and getting them to try new things and get new results is something that has been really, groundbreaking for me.
Michael, you've said quite a few phrases that indicate that you are NLP trained. Is that true?
No, actually, I'm not. I've experienced a lot of NLP,
okay.
but it's
you
not
said
that
two.
I've been specifically trained on. I don't have like an NLP cert or anything.
Because you said like 2 to 3.
What are the things? What are the things? Tell us.
He said 2 to 3 of the 14 NLP presuppositions. And one of them, at one point you said stepping into like their world. And then another point just right now, you said they're doing the best they can with the resources they have. That's 2. So I went, and then you mentioned Tony Robbins. So I was wondering if you went through it, because I went through the NLP. I'm a certified NLP practitioner, and then in July I'm going to go for 2 weeks to my master practitioner class.
Oh, that's awesome!
Which is basically like learning how to do the things that you're going to at the Unleashing from the Power Within with Tony.
Exactly.
So I'm going to get certified in trying to learn that. So when you were saying those things, I was like, oh, I wonder if he's done it, because when you know an element of NLP, which it sounds like you do, I feel like that would just it would like set you apart from other trainers that are in the fitness world, because it's all about mindset. And when you can talk to people in those terms, like the NLP, there's 14 presuppositions. I'll share them on a different podcast later.
Okay.
But a lot of them resonate with you, and you're saying it back right now. And I just feel like those things in your business, it gives you like the total package, because you're going after them for helping them with their wellness, their strength, and you're not making the results as, your results are based on the reflection of the mirror. It's like a different motivation. It's like a different level, and it's really cool to hear somebody put that spin on it, and I'm realizing that it wasn't by design, but now that I think you should make it even more by design.
No, I mean,
I think it's such a
coming to our podcast because we're also going to give you our opinion.
That's fine. Remember, I have a wife too, so I'm totally.
Yeah, so you're used to this. You're
exactly.
Totally okay.
No, I mean, I've definitely. I'm like I said, I've never done any NLP specific training, but I have done a lot of like a lot of other courses that I'm sure there's some aspects of NLP in them. For example, a leadership academy that I went to, and different seminars that I've been to. I'm sure they've had some kind of aspects of NLP built into them. And also my Robbins Madonna's coaching training that I went through has certain aspects of NLP in it as well. But what I found is like, and this is not only true for the mindset aspect, but as far as the fitness aspect as well, there's a whole bunch of different genres, I would say, that work. You know what I mean? And it's kind of picking and choosing different ones and kind of making your own kind of system. You know what I mean? For example, there's I do in my program, we do like a lot of kettlebell training, but we also do some barbell training as well. We do some yoga training, some calisthenics, and it's just picking what I see as the best aspects from those different ways of training, and just making one big program that I call MyBo Fitness.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Okay, so one more time, we got to wrap it up.
Okay.
So one more time, where do we find you?
You can find me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can connect with me through there. Those
What's
are
your
probably
what's your handle?
What's your handle on Instagram?
So Instagram is mybofitness _s. What's that? MIBO fitness and then _SDSW, which stands for San Diego Strength and Wellness.
Like it.
So that's my Instagram. And then on Facebook, I believe awesome. I'll follow you back.
Oh yeah.
Follow for follow. And then on Facebook, it is facebook.com/fit for the number 4 and then life MG for Michael Garza. So Fit for Life MG on Facebook.
Awesome. Cool. And what is the name of the gym that you're usually at?
San Diego Strength and Wellness.
San Diego Strength and Wellness. Cool. All right.
But the one thing I do want to add in, you guys, for those of you listening, is that Michael also does virtual consultations, so either through Zoom or just via phone. So for anyone who is, feeling like, gosh, I really would want to get some clear direction on fitness goals, but I'm also someone who understands the importance of mindset and how those really mesh together, Michael's your guy. So you can also give him a call, find him on Instagram or Facebook, but you can give him a call, and you guys can set up a virtual consultation as well. So don't let geography keep you from working with such an evolved person. So proud of you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Michael, it's been awesome talking to you today.
Yeah, it's been fun. I had a good time.
Thank you for spending time.
That we got to do this today.
Cool. Thank you. And I did just want to call out, as we wrap up, the book that you mentioned by Allison Armstrong one last time, which had such a positive impact on your life.
Celebrating Partnership. It's an audio book, and it's basically just a recording of, she does like relationship seminars that she does. So it's just like an audio recording of that seminar. So it's not necessarily like a chapter by chapter book. It's more of a full immersion kind of thing. It's actually really, really good. I highly, highly recommend it. And then also for the guys out there, even for the women too, Understanding Woman by Allison Armstrong as well is a really good one. Just because, like I said, just coming from that place of understanding, because we tend to think like guys think that women should be more like guys, and women think that guys should be more like women, and that just doesn't work. And it's just coming from a place of understanding that, oh, this is what they're trying to do. That's what's going on in their mind. This is what this means. It just kind of helps settle the water, so to speak.
And for clarification for this show, regardless of what gender you identify with, we're really talking about masculine energy or feminine energy.
Yeah.
And I know that that's what we mean. I just want to clarify that too with our listeners, that, it really doesn't matter the gender that you are. It's really the energy that you resonate with. And so, I think these tools, even though they maybe put us in boxes, can still be really resonant if we think about it through the energy perspective, which is really key.
Yep.
Definitely.
Good stuff, Michael. Thank you for sharing.
You guys are awesome. Michael, thank you so much.
No
Have
problem.
a good one, Michael.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.